chosen ones, have you ever felt that deep exhaustion that goes beyond physical tiredness? As if something invisible were draining your energy, leaving you weaker and weaker even after resting? If so, know that you are not alone, and that this has everything to do with your light, your mission, and who you are. Being chosen is not easy. You carry a unique light, a spiritual strength that shines even when the world tries to extinguish that inner fire. But this light, incredibly, can be a magnet for people and situations that unintentionally end up sucking your vital energy. These are those people who appear when they need something, but disappear when you need help. They are conversations, environments, and even thoughts that seem to drain your strength, leaving your soul tired and your heart heavy. Think of a river that flows strong and clear. It has the mission of bringing life wherever it goes. Now imagine that someone starts taking water from this river nonstop. What happens? The flow decreases and the life along the way begins to dry up. This is how your energy works, your vital force. It needs to flow, yes, but it also needs to be protected so that it doesn't dry up. Jesus taught us something fundamental. Even being the light of the world, he would distance himself to recharge, to connect with God, and to regain strength. This act of stepping away, often seen as weakness, is actually an act of wisdom and self-love. And it is exactly this that I want to show you today. How to recognize when your energy is being drained, and most importantly, how to close these invisible accesses to protect your strength. If you feel that your light is weakening, that your mission is being compromised by this draining, this video was made for you. Stay with me until the end, because I am going to share simple and powerful steps for you to guard your strength, renew your energy, and continue fulfilling your purpose with all the fullness that only a chosen one can have. And if this message touches your heart, don't forget to follow the channel to receive more content that strengthens the path of the chosen ones. Here, your light is respected and your mission is celebrated. You, who are chosen, carry within you a light that you often don't even notice, but is always shining. This light is your essence, a unique energy that differentiates you from others. Even in difficult moments, this light remains present, even if it seems extinguished to others or even to yourself. This energy that vibrates from within catches the attention of many people. Some come close because they truly need this light to warm themselves, to find comfort and strength. But not always do these people have good intentions. Many end up taking advantage of your generosity without realizing it, draining the energy that you so desperately need to stay strong. Imagine a campfire on a cold night. People come close to warm up, and the fire seems to warm everyone. But if they stay too long without helping to feed the fire, it begins to weaken and gradually may go out. This is how it works with you, chosen one. Your energy is this campfire that warms, but it needs to be fed to continue shining. Your soul is generous and feels the pain of the people around you. You have a unique sensitivity to perceive the sufferings and needs, as if you carried in your chest a bit of the world's pain. This is a blessing because it connects you deeply with others, but it can also be a trap if you don't learn to protect yourself. Setting boundaries doesn't mean being less generous or less loving. On the contrary, it is an act of love towards yourself. It is understanding that to continue being this light that illuminates and warms, You need to preserve your own strength. If you let the fire go out, you won't be able to warm anyone. It is normal to feel guilty when you think about saying no to someone in need. You have a heart that wants to help, and this desire can be so strong that you end up sacrificing your own energy. But it is important to remember that saying no is an act of care. It is not rejection. It is protection. Some people only show up to take what they need and disappear when you need help. They don't share the burden, don't offer support, and don't respect your limits. Recognizing this is crucial so that you don't wear yourself out. The energy of the chosen is valuable and needs to be cared for with attention. When you realize that you are being drained, it's time to act. Don't wait for the fire to extinguish completely to take care of yourself. Observe the signs and learn to recognize who is around you out of genuine need and who is simply sucking your strength away. Your inner light is a treasure. When you take care of it, you learn to shine more brightly and help others without losing yourself in the process. Remember that the strongest light is the one that has enough fuel to stay lit. The generous soul that feels the pain of others also deserves rest. There is no weakness in stepping away to recharge. Quite the opposite. This pause is what will allow you to return stronger and more present to fulfill your mission. When you understand that setting boundaries is a way to take care of your energy, you start to transform your life. You learn to balance the help you offer with the care you deserve. This makes all the difference for those who live with an open soul and a mission to fulfill. Allow yourself the wisdom to protect your energy. Be like the campfire that welcomes those in need, but doesn't let its flames go out. You deserve this attention to continue shining with all the strength you carry within. Chosen one, your energy is your greatest asset. But sometimes, something may be sucking that vital strength, leaving you tired, empty, and disconnected from your inner power. Knowing how to recognize the signs of this draining is the first step to protecting yourself and reclaiming your shine. One of the first signs is an exhaustion that doesn't go away, even after a good night's sleep or a well-deserved rest. You feel tired in a way that goes beyond the physical, as if something invisible is pulling at your strength. This fatigue that insists on remaining is a warning to pay attention. Another sign that should not be ignored is that feeling of emptiness after certain encounters or conversations. You leave these situations feeling as if you have given much of yourself but received little or nothing in return. This feeling may be subtle, but when it happens repeatedly, it is a clear sign that your energy is being drained. The guilt of saying no is a signal that often goes unnoticed. As a chosen one, your heart is big, and you want to help whenever you can. But when guilt arises simply because you are protecting yourself and setting boundaries, it indicates that someone is using your goodwill to continue sucking your strength. Learning to say no without guilt is an essential step in protecting yourself. Some people only show up when they need something. They come asking for help, support, or comfort, but vanish when you are weakened or need attention. This behavior shows that they are more interested in taking advantage of your energy than in building a true exchange. Recognizing these people prevents you from becoming emotionally drained. Constant criticism, planted insecurities, and doubts that arise out of nowhere are also signs that your energy is being attacked. Often, these comments come from people close to you who always seem to be questioning you, undermining your confidence, and opening fissures within you. This subtle sabotage affects your emotional and spiritual balance. Furthermore, after being in certain environments or participating in specific conversations, you may feel your faith shaken. That deep connection with your mission, with your light, becomes murky, almost extinguished. This feeling of losing faith does not happen by chance. It is a reflection of the energy that was sucked away and the negative influence around you. These signs are not a punishment or a weakness on your part. They are alerts, like a beacon that lights up to warn you to be careful. Ignoring these signs can lead to complete exhaustion, causing you to lose the necessary strength to fulfill your mission. Therefore, being aware of these manifestations is essential to protect your energy. When you notice that you are going through these situations, it's time to take action, to set boundaries, to care for yourself with the priority you deserve. Be mindful of how you feel after interactions with different people and environments. Pay attention to those feelings of fatigue that do not disappear with rest. Notice if the guilt of saying no appears frequently, as this may indicate an emotional manipulation that you need to break. Understanding these signs is the first step to closing the invisible doors that drain your strength. You do not need to be an endless well for others. Being chosen means having the responsibility to take care of your energy in order to fulfill the divine purpose that has been given to you. Remember, taking care of your energy is an act of self-love and respect for your mission. Protect your space. Say no when you need to, and distance yourself from what does not add value. These precautions are essential for you to continue shining and helping the world with your unique light. Pay attention to these signs and start acting today to preserve your strength. Your path as a chosen one deserves to be walked with full energy and a light heart. Chosen one, even with all the light and strength you carry, you need moments to step away and recharge. This is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom, and no one shows us this better than Jesus. In the Bible, there is a passage that says that Jesus, despite being the light of the world, withdrew to pray and find strength. Luke 5:16. He would retreat to solitary places to reconnect with the Father and renew his energy. This act of stepping away was fundamental for him to continue fulfilling his mission with fullness. Jesus knew that no one can serve God or others if they are empty inside. He understood that taking care of oneself is an essential part of the spiritual journey. If the inner light goes out, there is no way to illuminate the path for others. This example teaches us that taking time to care for ourselves, to be silent, and to connect is not weakness, but strength. Often, you may feel guilty for needing to step away, as if you were abandoning the mission or disappointing someone. But that is not true. The pause is a form of respect for yourself and for the mission you carry. It allows you to recharge your strength, organize your thoughts, and strengthen your spirit. Thus, you return renewed, with the energy necessary to continue shining and fulfilling your purpose. Being chosen does not mean always being available for everyone. It means recognizing your limits and honoring your time for rest. Jesus showed us that even the strongest and most illuminated need moments to rise again. So, If you feel that you are exhausted, that your energy is lacking, do not blame yourself. Accept this need as part of your spiritual growth. Allow yourself this care and see how your strength will be renewed. Following Jesus' example is understanding that taking care of yourself is essential to fulfilling your mission. It is an act of self-love that reflects in the quality of what you offer to the world. Remember, to be a light on the path of others, you first need to be filled with that light. Do not be afraid to step away to recharge. That pause is what keeps your flame burning and your soul strong. Chosen one, have you ever noticed how some people seem to use you as an emotional shield? They come with their anguish, problems, and sufferings, seeking a safe harbor in you. But when you need support, they vanish. This is a dangerous trap because this dependence disguised as love drains your energy without offering anything in return. Often, this dynamic goes unnoticed because it involves deep feelings. You want to help. You want to be that support. After all, it is natural for someone with a generous soul. But the problem begins when this help becomes a constant burden and you realize that you are being used to carry loads that are not yours. These people only show up when they need something, almost always in difficult moments. When you are doing well, they disappear. There is no reciprocity. There is no exchange of care. This pattern creates a cycle that consumes your energy, your spiritual strength, and your emotional balance. You may start to feel exhausted, as if you are giving more than you can and receiving less than you deserve. And the worst part is that this situation often creates a huge difficulty in saying no. You feel guilt, fear of hurting them, or even fear of losing those who depend on you. This guilt is not natural. It is a mechanism of emotional manipulation. People who depend too much on you can make you feel responsible for their well-being, even if it costs you your own health. Recognizing this is fundamental to breaking the cycle. Accepting to always be available without clear limits is to accept wearing yourself down to the point of exhaustion. Your body, mind, and spirit begin to show signs that something is wrong. You may feel tired, unmotivated, lost, and even question your faith and your purpose. It is important to understand that taking care of yourself is not selfish. Setting boundaries and saying no is an act of courage and self-love. You don't need to carry the world on your shoulders or be everyone's safe harbor all the time. Your mission is precious, and to fulfill it, you need to be whole. When you learn to protect your energy, you recognize that some people are not prepared to give as much as they receive. This doesn't mean rejecting them, but preserving your strength to help in a balanced way. This protection can start with small steps, learning to identify when someone is using you as an emotional shield, recognizing your own limits, and allowing yourself to say no when necessary. Remember that saying no is not closing your heart. It is taking care of your space. When you set limits, you are not being less loving, but more wise. And this wisdom is what will allow your light to continue shining bright. Don't let yourself be trapped by guilt or the fear of disappointing others. Your priority must always be your emotional and spiritual health. This way, you will be truly prepared to fulfill your mission as a chosen one with strength and balance. Chosen one, protecting your energy is not selfish. It is a profound act of self-love and spiritual wisdom. taking care of your vital strength is essential for you to continue being that light that illuminates the path for many. The first thing you need to learn is to say no without guilt. Understand that your limits are important and that you do not have to please everyone all the time. Saying no is an act of respect for yourself and your mission. Another powerful tip is to respond later, not in the moment. Not always do we need to provide immediate answers. Taking time to think, breathe, and organize yourself prevents you from becoming overloaded with demands that can wait. This small habit helps preserve your energy. Value silence and solitude. Moments alone are essential for recharging. It is in this space that your soul reconnects, finding balance and peace. Do not be afraid to step away temporarily from the noise of the world to take care of yourself. Set aside time for prayer, reflection, and connection with God. This practice strengthens your spirit and renews your strength. It is a sacred moment to recharge your inner light and reaffirm your purpose. Learn to recognize who truly respects your space and who only wants to drain your energy. Not everyone deserves free access to your inner world. This discernment is vital to protect your strength. Being light does not mean being an inexhaustible source for everyone. You do not need to carry the weight of the world alone. Protecting your energy ensures that you have enough fuel to continue shining with authenticity and balance. When you take care of yourself, you strengthen yourself to help others in a more genuine and conscious way. This protection is an act of love and respect that reverberates in your mission. Remember, your energy is precious. Preserve it with care, establish your limits, and allow yourself to recharge. This way, your light will never go out. Thus, silence and distancing have enormous power to reveal truths that were previously hidden. When you distance yourself, even if temporarily, you begin to clearly see who is really by your side and who was only there for interest and protection. Your strength is your greatest treasure. As the chosen one, you carry a mission that depends on the unique and precious energy that resides within you. But no one can fulfill their calling if they are empty, tired, or exhausted. That's why taking care of your strength is directly taking care of the purpose that God has entrusted to you. When you protect your energy, you are safeguarding your divine mission. This care is not just about you, but about the impact you can generate in the world. Your shine, your light, your spiritual strength are fundamental tools for you to fulfill what has been designated to you. Valuing rest and spiritual protection is an act of courage and wisdom. It is not about weakness or giving up, but about recognizing your limits and honoring your own pace. When you give yourself space to recharge, you are strengthening your capacity to act with clarity, compassion, and purpose. Take on this responsibility with love. Know that resting is not wasting time. It is investing in your mission. Renewed energy brings inner peace and allows you to walk with confidence, even in the face of challenges. It is natural that along the journey you will face difficult moments when strength seems to be lacking. But know that these moments are temporary. With care and protection, your light reignites, your strength renews, and your soul finds peace. Being chosen is both a privilege and a responsibility. It doesn't mean exhausting yourself, giving up on yourself, or carrying the weight of the world alone. It means understanding that your energy is sacred and needs to be preserved so that you can fulfill your purpose with fullness. Learning to protect your energy is fundamental for this journey. This involves knowing how to say no wisely, respecting your limits, and constantly reconnecting with God. This connection is the source that keeps your flame burning even when the winds are strong. By taking care of your strength, you not only strengthen yourself, but you also inspire others to do the same. Your light becomes a living example of balance, self-love, and faith. If you are starting to understand the importance of guarding your strength, share in the comments, "I am learning to guard my strength." Your experience can help others who are also chosen and seeking that balance. I want to thank you for being here, for investing your time and attention in this path of awakening and spiritual protection. This space was created to support you, chosen one, in your mission. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more content that strengthens your spirit, awakens your light, and helps protect your energy. Together, we will walk this journey of light, wisdom, and love. Always remember, your strength is your most valuable treasure. Take care of it with love and see your mission fulfilled with fullness and peace.